Much for me. Oh boy.
Word up. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is another episode of Too Much For Me, aka sometimes I shit in the screen.
That's healthy shitting, baby.
Hey.
That's called being old, which is a good segue to being too much of the being outside as being young people or being inside as old people.
Yeah. Also random. First time I seen green shit, I was watching a nature documentary. It was a gorilla. He took a shit in his hand, it was green, and he ate it.
I really don't know how to respond to that, but
I forgot about that shit. I was like, yo, that nigga shit is green, bro. That's nasty. And then he ate it. That's worse.
anyways.
Yo, so
What's your experience being young outside?
man, early, because 7-5 party cultures. Well, I don't know how it is now. I don't be outside anymore, but it's still popping. But when I was young, it was popping. Like, we had like a lot of the parties that you see now, we were doing in high school. So like, people were already renting out spaces, charging people by the head at a door. You get in, and then we had like the dance culture too. So it was a lot of like twerking. I think we had one of the first really big twerk cultures out here. Tidewater area is so much a mixture of cultures because of the military. So you got a heavy Caribbean culture, obviously Southern culture, Black folks, a lot of DC influence, so a lot of go-go still, club music. At the time, it was mostly just Baltimore because again, it's pre-internet. So now you get Jersey Club, you get all the other stuff. For us, we just really had Baltimore club music. So we were doing all the dance. Jerkin had just came out too, was getting popping. So a lot of times, if people joke about it, but like our fucking parties, it might actually look like you got served. Eventually, it turned into a twerkathon, but you'd have niggas pop locking, you'd have all types of shit. So, I got introduced to it really early, but my parents were real strict, so I couldn't go. Like I had the type of parents where like I'm like, Dad, it's a party, can I go? He's like, well, who's the parents?
Yeah, no, because my parents, they're in their 70s. They were more so the same way. I never really had an outside period until maybe college.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. For us, I got mine in high school a little bit. They loosened the pause. They took the reins off a bit for me at certain points. But we would make up parties, like, and that was just our culture. Like as far as like band, like if you had to stay after school for band, we had a radio in the locker room. We was making like beats on the shit, and it would be a twerk party in the band room. Like we just partied all the time. Like it was a big culture. So it was like by the time you get old enough to go outside, you're already in there. And I know for 7-5, the only thing is the difference between being outside in 7-5 and being outside at Hampton University, not the city of Hampton.
That's University. That's two different things.
Is violence, honestly. Because all our parties when I was young ended with police or someone got shot or both. Parties never really ended. The police pulled up or somebody started shooting or someone got beat the fuck up. And either way, the police are showing up. And then, funny story already, right? This is the funniest shit I ever heard. We had a party, a lot of my niggas, we took an L at, right? It was in Yorktown. And it was a fun party. Jeff was there, Chris Lee, shout out to the homie, my man's Anthony. And it was just everything went wrong. My nigga Ant got jumped. And on our way out, I'm with Ant, me and Ant walking out. Now, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not gonna lie and be like, we got jumped. He got jumped. Which is fucked up because we should have gotten jumped. My ass, I was like,
you gotta know your fights though. You can choose your fight.
Them niggas was big, man. Pause. Like it was some huge niggas. Them niggas jumped out the bushes like ninjas. But to be fair, I did want to try to help, but one of them pushed me. And I just kind of fell over like a turtle. Yeah, I went out in like the most hoest of ways. I didn't even get my ass whooped. At least Ant can, he fought the fight. He fought a good fight. I just got shoved.
You fell and then put your head down.
Yeah, I pretty much. I was like, yeah, y'all got it. I wouldn't have admitted it at the time. I can admit it now though. I was like,
as an adult, you can admit
that nigga got jumped. It wasn't okay because someone almost got shot up for that. But now that's a funny thing. If you ever talking to a nigga that just got jumped and you were there and y'all both in the car, ain't no song you can put on. That's a quiet car ride. Bro was just there bleeding. I'm just like, so I'm like, yo, that's crazy. They really, yeah, they was talking shit, but I didn't think they was really gonna hit you.
Damn, bro, they jumped us.
That shit crazy. Yo, you bleeding. That
nigga's leaking.
Bro did not say nothing. He just made a call. Was like, no, I'm gonna shoot that nigga. And I was just like, I don't think we should do that. I don't think you should do that. But in that situation ended up working out. But the other funny thing that happened too, everybody took an L. Like everybody I knew like got in a fight or something. One of my homies, Chris, he was at Bojangles down the street, and I was like, what happened? He's like, man, this nigga knew karate. I was like, what you mean? He's like, bro, I squared up with some dude. He pulled up on me, asked who I was. I was like, what's up? And that nigga kicked me in my chest.
I thought he Bruce Lee this nigga.
He was like, I couldn't breathe. There was nothing I could do. That nigga kicked me in my chest. Yo, he knew something. I was like, he knew you couldn't fight. That nigga kicked you. You let a nigga kick you in the chest? But also, I can't talk much shit at that time. But let me shut the fuck up.
You kind of can, you kind of can't at the same time because it didn't happen to you, but I'm not really kicking.
Oh, you know what? I left out too because I want to be fair in my not coolness. They were leaving, so we all had our shirts off because we're young and skinny and we were at a party. It's hot. I'm like still there looking like I was gonna do something. Like, oh man, because because they didn't last. The fights never really last long. Security came and broke that shit up. But it was enough that bro, took a L. So I'm still standing there like I'm about to do something. No, I'm not. These niggas dropped by and it was like, yeah, put your shirt on before we come fuck you up too.
Okay.
I was like,
promptly. I'll do what I want. I was gonna put it. It was cold, but I'm gonna put it on.
It's not because y'all said that.
Man, fuck y'all. What'd you say?
Huh? I thought y'all drove off. Okay. I'm in AP classes. But but anywho, anyways, so I came out of that to Hampton University, right? Which Hampton, it had a party scene. Hampton was more drinking, which we've talked about, but which I was unfamiliar with. I never drank prior to that. We just partied. But and by I don't mean party like we did cocaine. I mean we went out and had fun.
You want to do a bump? You want another?
That's some whole other shit. Not that we did, but just watching people do that's crazy. I didn't learn about that until I got to Richmond. But that being said, anyways, Hampton was different because it was like Hampton was wild too, and because that's even prior you getting there. Prior to me getting there, it was way wilder, and then it was pretty wilder before you got there. Yeah. But same culture, house parties and stuff, people twerking and stuff. The only difference was the parties didn't end out there. They just kind of died down.
Mm-hmm. Or you went to somewhere else. It was always another move that night.
Yeah, there was really at that time. Hammond did have a little period where niggas actually got to fighting and stuff, but at the time there was no level of violence when I was there. It was shit, nigga, we was violence. Honestly, the local niggas that ended up getting to school there, and then for us too. This is before there was gates in the harbor, so niggas just had people there.
Or just walking in.
Yeah,
walking. There's no sneaking. It's just this party.
I had all my friends around, so it was cool. But I'll say a big thing in the area. I don't know if you ever experienced this, but like the cave.
No.
Yeah, the cave is like everybody's first club experience. A lot of Hampton people too, because it's like that's the 18 and it's like you can be under 21, 18 and up, and a lot of places weren't 18 and up. So that was like the first club experience. So me, Tiff, and Kevin. Well, I don't know why I said it was like Kevin. We went there, but the funny thing is, the cave is a ghetto ass club. Nigga, we dressed up. We had on like collared shirts and shit. And we was in. It was wild. I was a nigga in there with one leg.
College dropout with Kanye West.
But yeah, actually. But it was fun though. It was a good time. I'll say in the 7-5. Well, I don't want to do too much talking. What was your experience? Like even if it was later on.
To be honest, outside for me wasn't as like I have social anxiety. I don't like going places that much, but I'd always my outside experience really involved band. You were there a lot of the times, a great portion of the time. There was really a lot of band parties, to be honest with you. It's like that was my first intro to drinking, talking to young women. I don't say bitches because we're adults now, but I didn't go outside like that. I didn't even in high school. I didn't go outside. I had strict parents. I had 60-year-old parents. So it's like, I'm not going outside. I didn't like outside. I think I've been old since I came out the womb, to be honest with you.
Yeah, wrong with that. I heard Richmond was going crazy too back then. Fucking J. Roddy Rod shit. I forgot where the twerk is at. Yeah, that's where the twerk is at. That's some Richmond shit.
Richmond has had I think if any Richmond person who gets to this point in of us talking, like Have a Nice Day Cafe, I think was a thing that you hear on the radio say, yeah, brr, 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 come out to Have a Nice Day Cafe. We're going to have all the bitches, all the niggas, drinks $5 a piece. And this is on the radio. And I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, pussy clot.
But no, but dead ass, like, I heard more about outside culture, and it never was something that I wanted to do. I like being inside, honestly.
I learned that the hard way. I definitely was. I'll say what was a cool transition, because I definitely want to talk about, because we were outside at one point.
Oh, us too?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I would still consider that during our younger period. But
Okay.
before we get there, just chronologically speaking, I'll say 7-5, just documentation wise, best time to meet outside 7-5 was when Work Release was open. And that was when I think I got more introduced to like the music scene outside of being a performer. Like the DJ culture in the 7-5 is so important and crazy, because it was like it was just one of them things where, and it's coming back now. It's kind of like where, not, I won't say where it was, because you know nothing's ever what it was. It's just what it is now. But we have a thriving DJ culture now in the 7-5. And I just remember at that time being introduced to it. Like, you just go out, and we had such a good mix of stuff. And that's like a big shout out to Traptastic, because you would have people like you know, like a Masego, or you'd have people like Young Crazy, and these would all be in the same group. So you'd have like the upbeat, more house sounding club type shit. But then you also have like the trap niggas and stuff, and the trap music, which all of that's a big part of our culture. We do have eclectic weirdos, and you know, with different
Black
types of
people are not a monolith. Areas aren't monolithic. It's just if you want to be exposed to different things, you kind of do have to go outside.
Yeah. And that was like, I think at the time, the best representation of, you didn't have to go to different places. You could be, and Work Release was really like if you were there, you were there, man. It was some good shows that happened there, good nights, and again, you get lit, you'd be around all the same people and stuff, and it was a good culture. Like, again, that balance was dope. And then also too, we had Graffiti Studios. That was on the other side of things. We was outside of Norfolk. We was in Newport News with it. But then niggas came to Richmond.
Honestly, alcohol is a motherfucker. I did forget that I would be outside with you in Richmond.
I didn't like it. I think that was the start of the end for me.
I think so.
Because it's so head ass, and again, that might have been us getting older, more mature. I don't know. I think some of it's the maturity, but I think some of it too is like, for people like us, it outside was real whack out here.
It's different breeds of people. Because like, being that I was like, I'm from Henrico, but you know, so it's around Richmond and all that shit. Like, people, it's different breeds of people in different areas, and the people here, not to talk too much shit about where I'm from, they don't really like to like have fun with people they don't know, or you're not from the area.
Yeah.
And if you tell them where you're from, it's kind of like, ew, you smell like shit.
Yeah, I heard you say that a lot too, especially if you tell people you're from Henrico or whatever, they treat you like...
Oh yeah, nah, like I had a young lady who basically told me I wasn't black because I wasn't born in the city. And I was really confused because the same young lady went to, like, not to talk shit about anybody's schooling. If you go to school, higher education, good job.
Hello.
She went to a PWI that was in the corner of the state that bordered 3 other white ass states. And I went to Hampton. And I'm like, okay, fuck you. Cause what?
Goofy broad.
I was confused. I was really confused. So like, outside culture here, I think it just changed, you know? And I think I see remnants of it with certain, like I was wearing my hoodie one time, this older man came and talked to me, older hood nigga. And it was cool because the conversation we had, it seemed like, oh, you were probably one of the ones outside that you probably beat up a nigga, but you probably were in the clubs having fun with everybody.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, it's a new breed. I think it's that gentrified culture coming in.
Yeah.
And really trying to like define what outside is without even being in the mix originally.
I think it's very copy and paste, because I've seen similar shit like when I've been to Atlanta or DC, not really New York, but like just for like shows or whatever. And like back when I would be outside more, there was a time recently where like I might perform somewhere and then I'm out for the rest of the night. Like, all right, well, what's the culture of the area?
Man, yeah.
But I noticed like, I feel like there's a big copy and paste with certain, like a DC, Richmond, bits of Charlotte, et cetera, where there's just like people either went to school in that area or around there and they moved to like the biggest city that's close by. And then they just, it seemed like everybody does the same thing. It's like a 5-day work week. You spend all your money on the weekend. It's like, folks, go out, you just get fucked up. You go to the same clubs, see the same people, fuck the same bitches.
And then you go back and do it again.
Rinse, repeat for years. And I feel like that's why I feel like that's why for a lot of people, dating is so hard right now. Because you have a lot of people that aren't getting out of that cycle. And thankfully, honestly, actually, to bite my tongue a little bit, I think there are starting to be more people like ourselves who are getting into different things like yoga, sobriety, things like that. I'm starting to see more of that, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And getting into hobbies that aren't just going out and drinking.
Yeah.
You know, I think I talked about that with my girl. It's like kind of joining, like, you know, it made fun of old people on Facebook, but you join these Facebook groups and it's like different things that you can do that aren't going to a lounge, going to a hookah bar, going to a club. I ain't talking about nobody who do it. If you do it,
hookah though.
No, hookah. Hand me the hookah. I'm not talking about people who do it, but there's so many other things that you can do that are so much better. Like staying inside has been one of my favorite things lately because there's so many things I can do inside the house or inside someone else's house that's not partying.
We in the house right now.
Honestly,
I'm happy.
I am too.
I don't want to go. Imagine, hey, yo, you know what's funny though? 2-3 years ago, we probably would have been like, yo, you trying to go to a brunch?
Actually,
or have brunch here and just get.
It was definitely because we probably the day before got drunk at a show. You know, it's like looking back in time. We had a lot of. Now I see what you're saying. We were outside a lot.
You feel? Because that's the thing is, niggas think about Friday, Saturday. You think about Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, we would stay going to a brunch after a show, or having to go to Walmart to get ready for another brunch. And now we have 4 bottles of Andre champagne.
Bruh, I wanted to bring that up. Another one, I forgot about it. Just like of the dubious task of drinking that we've had over the years. Of just like, yo, we should pull up to the show. Everybody get their own bottle of champagne.
You know what? That honestly, I'm glad. That was a very short-lived period because we did it one time with the collective of the tribe and realized we were the only people doing it and saw how bad of an idea it was.
Because niggas ain't stupid except us. And I remember like thinking, I'm like, everybody not drinking their champagne.
I was.
I'm like, you want yours?
And they're just looking at us and like we were the whole like random sidestep into that story. The whole point of us going to the location we're going to, because we're not gonna put them on blast because we love them and want to make sure they have good shit going on for them, was for like a show run through.
Oh yeah.
And we ready, and like everybody else is like, the fuck is wrong with y'all? I think that was the last show before COVID actually.
Nah. It was so what it was 'cause I remember this.
Okay.
It was in the same place.
Oh, okay.
I remember because so that night was wild because we had to get somebody's wig. So we got the wig, we got the bottles. We went to the homies' restaurants to warm up. Then we went to the venue that we was at, the Hoff. And I can say that because it wasn't the Hoff didn't give us a problem. It was the person who booked us.
Yeah,
because essentially I already had a bad feeling about that person. And when we got there, pretty much they gave us a dummy slot. Like they had like a show that was like from, let's say, 8 to, it was a ridiculous time frame, like 8 to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And then they had me go at 1 a.m.
Which didn't make any sense at all.
It was a dick move on their part because what that means is I'm gonna have a show and I just need somebody to fill up this time. And at the time we weren't getting paid for shows. So it was just like, you just take what you can get. So they booked us for the latest time so that they had all the people in the crowd for the whole time. And then they left their own show before we performed.
Which is honestly wild.
They're very rude.
It's as far as a courtesy thing, because at least when we've put on shows, we stay the whole time. We help clean up. We help do the things that need to be done so that the show can go off without a hitch. Because we care about the craft of making the show. You care about your craft as a performer.
Oh, yeah.
We care about the business craft of putting on the show. You know what I'm saying? We've logged in hours. You've logged in a lot of hours for working on like being outside on a business standpoint. But it was necessary. But fuck him.
Yeah, I still don't like that person. And it's funny because one of the dudes that this guy don't remember this, but I didn't forget because people never forget how he made him feel.
Facts.
It was the other dude performing. And he said some little slick shit about me when he was getting off stage. And I was like, and the funny thing was I had words for him when I got on stage. And he wasn't there to receive them. But I was like, yo, hurry up and let's get on so I can talk shit. I cooked everybody in that bit. I freestyled. I don't even remember that. I freestyled and talked shit about everybody.
I honestly, I think I was just too lit to do any to remember that.
Yeah, I was directly talking shit about people. Very, very openly. But what was I about to say? That person though, now they be hitting me up, asking me to like this stuff. They want to collaborate on things. No, I got nothing for them.
I mean, like you said, no one forgets how you made them feel, and it's like
I don't need you.
and that really ties into falling out of being outside.
Hello?
You know what I'm saying? It's like the beginning of the end of wanting to drink with people at shows or really wanting to be there. You start to treat people like they had treated you. And it isn't vindictive. It's more of a, I'm doing this for my peace of mind. I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna leave. And that's it. To be honest.
Yo, so on circling back, right, just to get a good outside story, and I would like you to tell your perspective, and I'll pepper in here and there.
But
the young lady who said that you was, because you from where you from, that you not what you is, was that the same person that we was on the like the little bus thing with?
yes, actually, that was. Damn, we was outside for that. God,
Yeah,
damn.
let's talk about that. That was funny.
That was honest. That story almost didn't happen because I was dating this young lady at the time. That was my girlfriend. It was cool. But I wasn't invited to her birthday, which is wild.
That
shit.
bitch did not like, you know what's funny?
Did.
I went through something similar too.
Yo.
Remember?
That's wild to me.
And these bitches did not like us.
They didn't. Like, I'm not saying all due respect to her, because that was a fucked up shit to do. However, I'm not going to talk shit. I'm an adult now. But at the time, I was like, God damn. And the only reason I was invited was because like a few of her friends couldn't go. And she said, you can come to my birthday if you want, and you can bring your friend Skuzii so you're not by yourself. I'm like,
cut to me like,
it was really bad. It was a really fucked up situation. But because I have a good friends, great friends, like, you know, we're going to feel good about this shit. We started drinking. Before we got there, we ended up Ubering. Yeah. We did the smartest things that night. We ate.
Nah, it was outside.
No, but we Ubered to where it started. We had to Uber to the hotel to get on the bus.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the thing. We Ubered to their hotel. We'd already been drinking. Ubered to the hotel.
Gotcha.
We finally get on the bus and we start taking shots. Again. The whole time, this whole bus tour, if you haven't been on a party bus is just a bus with liquor and food if you got it. And these were some big young ladies. So there was food.
No, it was big.
Okay, it kind of...
It might not have been that many of them. It might have just been the death perception.
Yeah, actually it might have been.
But it's two? Nah, it was a good amount.
It was enough.
Yeah,
it was enough.
Over half a dozen.
And like, I don't want to badmouth no one too bad. We're adults now. But we just started drinking. And like the weird thing is, I think the weirdest moment of that night, there were two weird moments, was when we got to the first venue or the first place. It was like right under our apartment, and they thought we were going to drug them.
Yo, well, because context
is needed.
You skipped a couple steps there.
I did. I went full tilt.
So we invited them. We was like, hey yo, we got a bottle upstairs. Y'all want? We can go upstairs and take some more shots since we here. We paying for drinks anyways. Which again, we would do that with the hoes, with the homies, whoever. If we at our crib, literally, we're gonna offer some.
We're always gonna offer. We're nothing short of considerate of the people around us.
They made it weird.
They did actually.
It was like, oh, so you're gonna blah 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 blah. Like,
we have to go to their apartment. I don't even know these guys. Bitch, I'm dating your friend.
Also, what part of you am I about to hit? Because you got too much. You got a lot.
It's a lot of folks.
That's why I probably drinking so much. Deal with this bigotry.
Oh wait, we forgot that there was the
pregnant bitch.
Yeah.
That's foul.
On the bus, one of your baby's first experiences listening, it's like, what the fuck is this loud music?
That bitch was getting them on nerves because they was like, one of them was cool. They was like trying to mac on a nigga, big mac on a nigga.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I'm cool actually. But
I do remember that. It was a lot of things just happened that night that were just. We went to so many bars. I think we didn't go to bed till 5 a.m. that day.
I'm not gonna lie, I get anxiety thinking of how much money I've spent in my 20s. And I'm just like, that could have went to so much other shit.
Somewhere else, man.
I just drank my pockets dry. But
yeah.
I remember we had went to the pizza spot without them.
Yeah, we had one of their friends.
Yeah, and then they thought we was trying to steal her or some shit.
They thought we left. Like they were running out of we went to I think Margaritas.